Hi, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request for Lilia. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it directly to my PayPal. I do have a Cash App as well. Links are down below, and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. There be any topic, movie review, re-review, thought streams, commentaries, video game playthrough for an hour, or full playthrough, random thoughts, whatever the case, I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. So thank you for that. Now, this took me a bit to get to because I don't know if Lilia has seen this. The title you wrote for me to check out, I could not find if that was a documentary, if that was a movie. There's like 8 passengers, something of death. There's like it was a specific title, but I could not find it anywhere. So I'm assuming you want me to talk about Ruby Frank, who's this YouTube channel, 8 Passengers. Just another part of the request to talk about was Casey Anthony and her TikTok, which, who's that? I'll get to that in a while. So yeah, it just took me a bit to find it. Well, I mean, I couldn't find anything you typed, but I'm assuming it's a. So I just looked at this other documentary called Devil in the Details about Ruby Frank and 8 Passengers. So there you go. Sorry about the lateness of the video. So to get into it, what is 8 Passengers? Who is Ruby Frank? Because I didn't know who the fuck she was, because I don't watch these type of channels. I don't watch these type of videos. In fact, I'm not really for family content on YouTube in terms of the way this is done. What this reminds me of is that other fuckwit Daddy 05. That's a whole other thing, a whole other topic. Not all, but a lot of these people are nutcases that will use their family for YouTube popularity. And it's a scumbag move. And both Ruby Frank and the bitch I talk about later, Casey Anthony, they're both 2 bitches in the sea. One can suck my left nut, one can suck my right nut, and my sweaty balls can go in each of their mouths. One at a time, then both at the same time. I'll make them fit. And then I'll quit. Because they're both fuck sticks. Fuck Ruby Frank, fuck Casey Anthony. They both can lick my balls and my asshole. Fuck them both. But let's get into Ruby Frank's bitch ass. So she was at one point known as the YouTube mom. Like the YouTube was promoting her stuff, and 8 Passengers was this popular YouTube. I mean, I guess, because I didn't watch the shit. So it was her husband, and 6 kids. Hence 8 Passengers. And like she'd be this on camera, this great mom, and doing all this other stuff. And again, there is a documentary that was made called Devil in the Details, which I watched that for this information. The dad is interviewed, the 2 older kids are interviewed, as well as other people. And this just pissed me off to no end, man. This made me so angry, not only at the mom, but the dad as well. And by the way, to this fuckwit dad, you're a piece of shit too. You should be in jail as well. You should be ostracized from those kids. You should get the fuck away from those kids as soon as possible. You're as guilty as this weirdo bitch, and you're a piece of shit too, because you filmed the stuff. You're too much of a pussy to do anything about it. You're too much of a wimp to say anything about it. You're too much of a simp because you still love this crazy ass bitch. So fuck this dad. He's a piece of shit. I don't even know his name. I don't remember his name. His name ain't worth remembering unless he's mouthing it on my dick. Fuck this guy, and fuck Ruby Frank as well. Take some ruby slippers to stick up her cooch. Because what happens is, this kid, you see footage, like a door, house footage. This kid, neighbor, asked him for help, and the kid was one of the kids of Ruby Frank. And you find out that he was malnourished, there's lacerations on his back, and then we go into who Ruby Frank was. They were Mormons in Utah. Let me ask a question. Are Mormons just always weird? Why is there so many times I hear shit like this and you find out they're like Mormons or something? Wasn't the last thing I talked about where the parents, their daughter got kidnapped twice by the same guy? I reviewed the damn abducted in plain sight. Weren't they Mormons too? Was with Mormons like just doing like the dumbest or stupidest or the worst parents ever? Is that every Mormon? Like, if you're a Mormon, please educate me. Because this shit's making you look bad. I'll say that. If any Mormons are watching this, feel free to educate my dumb ass, because I'm saying this and that is making Mormons look like the biggest dumb shits ever. I'm just saying, that's what this is doing, that's what that was doing. Makes Mormons look like assholes. So, please educate me. What's the dealio? And the mom, Ruby Frank, has started this YouTube channel. Now, apparently there was hundreds of hours of footage. Here's my question. Why would this lady save all of this footage? I do YouTube. If I have footage, I delete it. I'm not saving... Like, why would you save all of this footage? Even like her outtakes and stuff she edited out. Why would you save that stuff? Why would you just not delete it? Why would you just... I don't understand why she would save all this stuff. I don't understand that. I'm still confused by that. But you see that she's trying to do a video, then she's like, Hey, why am I hearing all this noise? I'm making a video, why am I hearing all this? And pretty much, she wanted her family to be actors. And the dad is as guilty and as complicit in all this, because you filmed the stuff, you didn't protect your kids, you didn't stand up for your wife, you even said, oh, you know what, they just started to complain. Yeah, because they're not fucking actors. They're kids trying to live their life. They're not actors. And the fact that this father just, well, she did this, and she did that, and she did this, she did it. This guy holds no responsibility for his actions. He should be tried and convicted as well. He should be in jail as well, because he was complicit. He was assisting. He did not help at all. He's a piece of shit. So it's one of those things where the mom would act all kind on camera, but then would like try to force her kids to be happy, forced to be smiling. Be yourself. That is myself. Well, then change it. That kind of behavior, just very psychopathic behavior. Complete psychopathic. She made decisions. You did too as a father, asshat. Apparently their kids, they would pay them $10 for a video, even though they were making a shitload of money per month. It was like, what was it, hundreds of thousands of dollars or something per month? Like, that's how popular they get. Now, granted, I mean, I don't know why people watch this stuff. I don't know. One of the kids they interviewed, Chad, the two older ones, apparently there was a point where he did something supposedly wrong and he was forced to live in the basement for months. And I'm sitting there going, hey, the dad, why don't you do something about this? Why don't you help out? Why don't you go, no, that's wrong? But you didn't. Because you're much of a psychopath as this lady, but somehow you did off scot-free. Don't worry, I mean, I'm pissed at Ruby Frank, but at least she's in jail. At least by then she got, was it 30 years or so? But this guy still walk around? Fuck him. He got away with his stuff free. He don't deserve a pass as well. Unless I pass my fist across his face. Fuck him. So all this, stupid, terrible shit's happening. And then they meet this girl, Jody, who was part of like this man-hating church cult thing. Of course, the father would be into it because he's a fucking pussy too. He probably hates his own needle dick if he has a dick. Dickless prick. No. So Jody's talking with Ruby and talking about it's meant for, oh, we're meant for higher purposes, we're meant for higher stuff. And there's this one video that was done where the I think it was Chad. He mentions how his room was taken away for months and then given back, and she uploaded it, Ruby, as if it was fine. But then a lot of people, understandably, were like, "What the fuck? This is screwed up." And then, oh, well, it's part of the cancel culture. I'm like, no, that's truth bombs. And also this thing with like Ruby and then Jody's like, oh, we're meant for higher purposes. We're meant for higher purposes for God. Let me tell you, God don't give a fuck about you, Jody, or you, Ruby. If God is not doing shit like, oh, hey, here's a bunch of people who's, got dealt with a hurricane. Here's a bunch of people that had dealt with a fucking earthquake. Here's a bunch of people. If he's not doing anything with that, you think he's going to give a shit about your non-existent ass? Talk about being egotistical. God's not going to do all these other things, but he's going to center on you. God don't give a fuck about you. I bet he don't like you. And this Jody's a nutcase too. Apparently she was having trances, like she was possessed. And then I guess throughout it, like some of the older kids left, and even the father was kind of ticked out. And pretty much all that was left, I think, was the two younger kids. I think. Anyway, at one point, the mom thought those two kids were demonically possessed. And then for some reason, the dad like got the call and he's like, was believing in it. I'm like, shoot this motherfucker, please, and shoot Ruby Frank and shoot Jody as well. Fuck all these people, man. And also apparently, like, there was neighbors that were like, hey, there's cops outside your place, and hey, I think this Jody and Ruby left some of your kids there at the house, and it's been days. Like, hey, and then the guy would just block their texts, because the dad wasn't living there anymore. But hey, if my kid was in trouble, if I had a kid and he or she was in trouble, he and she was in, I would go in there and I'd probably get arrested because someone would be beating the shit out of. Meaning, if someone's hurting my kids, screwing my kids, or screwing with my kids, I would beat the fuck out of them. Well, that's tough talk. No, that's truth talk. Because family, friends, I go into a rage, and you don't want to see it. You really don't. Pent up rage will be unleashed. But this dad's too much of a fucking pussy ass, simp ass dickwad. Came and told me he'd have to have a dick. Just a complete wad. And fuck Ruby. Like, I'm glad Ruby and Joey get 30 years. She gets life. God, these fucking people, man. These people. This shit just chaps my fucking ass, man. Just the dumbest shit. I mean, it goes to show you with YouTube, you don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. You don't know how they truly are, because there's one persona on the camera they give you, then behind the scenes they may give a completely different, more real persona. And that's why you gotta be careful. All these things that come out with some of these bigger YouTubers. Oh, he's actually like that, or she's actually like this. I mean, it's like with actors and all sorts of stuff. It's like they use a camera to hide. Like, if they're at this camera, they're in their own universe, they're in their own world, that the outside doesn't matter. So it's like, in a way, looking at themselves, they escape their reality that they're in. And when it's shut off, though, you're back to your reality, as fucked up as some of them are. So, yeah. God, these people are just nutcases. And then the Casey Anthony bit. She wasn't a YouTuber. I guess this girl was 20 some years old. She had a daughter, Kaylee, who was 2 years old. In July 2008, she goes missing. The grandma calls the cops. The little girl's missing, but they take Casey into custody. And there's a lot of suspicion and circumstantial evidence. There's internet searches where apparently throughout the past months or so, she looked up chloroform and neck breaking. Apparently there's some traces of stuff in her trunk of her car. Then she kept changing her story. First, the kid was taken by a babysitter or a nanny. Then, she accidentally drowned. Then, actually, my father did it and wanted me to keep quiet. For some reason, she got acquitted. I don't know who the fuck that jury was, but I guess because there's no... I mean, all this stuff kind of adds up to this girl. But it's with the law. I mean, I know a lot of people... I'm reading up on it. A lot of people were pissed off that she was acquitted. I don't blame them, because it seems like this girl's guilty as fuck, too. And then 2020, she tries to start a private investigation business. And then on TikTok, she wants to be a legal advocate. As a proponent for the LGBTQ. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Gay people don't want to talk to you either. Gay people don't want your sorry ass. What the fuck does the LGBT barbecue have to do with anything? Legal advocate. Yeah, if you want to escape, justice, give me a call. I'll tell you all the details. If you're a guilty fuck, just like me and O.J. Simpson, if you want to know how to escape and be acquitted, too legit to quit, I'll tell you. Unfucking believable. It's like the O.J. Simpson thing. Well, she wasn't found guilty, or he wasn't found guilty. Well, it doesn't mean they weren't guilty. Just like there's innocent people that were found guilty, there's some guilty people that were found innocent. The door swings both ways. And it seems with all the shit I read, this bitch was some young girl who got pregnant, and she's wanted the rest of her life to do stuff, so she didn't want to be a mother, so she wanted to find a way to get rid of it. Granted, I don't know why you just call it adoption, but apparently she didn't want to do that, and then killed the kid. Yes, I do believe that. And her TikTok is bullshit. Just fuck TikTok, number one. And number two, she just seems like a full of shit person. She just seems like she's lying her asses off. Both her fat asses off. I can't. I'm just not tolerant today. I hate all these people. I hate, Ruby Frank and her pussy husband and Casey Anthony. Out of those three people, only one of them's in jail. The other two got away scot-free, which pisses me off more. If I talk more, I'm going to lose my fucking mind on this, man. I really am. Like Ruby Frank, the fact that again you use your kids as actors, and that's the thing with family channels. I don't think they should be a thing. I mentioned that before. Because it's one thing of, hey, we're filming a birthday party, and oh, look, we filmed some stuff, we put it up there. Although, you gotta be careful because there's a lot of weirdo people. If you think of how many millions and perhaps even billions of people watch YouTube, one of them may see a video of you, your kids. Do you really want there for the public? That's up to you. That's number one. Number two, okay, you do that, once in a while, fine, but it's another thing to use them, like, consistently. Unless the kid's like, hey, I really want to make this stuff. Okay, we'll have fun. And the kids really want to do it, and they're having fun, it's a hobby. But for the parents to, like, use them, it's like Daddy 05. That was the group where the mom and dad would do these things where they would do like prank videos against the kids, or this is what it looks like if a kid gets his Nintendo video game system broken, and they're crying and scared. And for some reason, this shit got popular, and they're still, oh man, that was funny. Why can't we have those videos? It's not just the people; it's the audience for this that disturbs me as well. Here is more of, I don't know why you want to watch a family every fucking day. This ain't the Truman Show. I guess the Truman Show was more. I mean, I like the Truman Show. It was more realistic, I guess, as time goes on, because there are people willing to do that. I mean, but let's face it, there's a lot of parents that should never have been parents in the first place. There's a lot of stupid people who happen to be parents. And those are the type of people that should have either, well, cracked back or keep in the sack, as I put it. Don't breed. You want to come, you back, or keep in the sack, or on the track. There you go. And Ruby Frank and his dipshit, her dipshit. Well, I might as well call it he, because she wore the pants of the family. She had more balls, to control everything than this fucking simp husband did. So probably should call her a he, and he a she, because he's the pussy. The dad, again, I keep pounding this in. He is as complicit. He was filming the stuff. He ignored it. I wouldn't be surprised if he did stuff and people would keep it quiet. I think he's as guilty as the others, and I don't think he's as innocent. He's trying to make himself out to be on the documentary. And no one buys into it. I know I'm not the only one that says, no, this guy should be in jail. This guy's full of shit. Anyway. Yeah, the whole family's, putting their stuff on YouTube. It's like with everything. There's going to be some people that manipulate, or some people who think they'll find success, or they think they'll find... Obviously, this lady was psychotic to think that her kids were demonically possessed. She obviously has some severe mental issues. I know, like, no shit, right? And then the Casey Anthony, she just piece of crap human being that didn't want a kid. Then instead of adoption, figured this was, in her way, the easier way to get rid of it. And she was able to get away with it. That's the sad thing. And now she will be a legal advocate. Well, I mean, I guess, hey, you want to steep justice. You want to find a way to get free when you clearly did something like murder. Talk to me. So there you go. So fuck both of them. But anyway, that's enough of that. Thanks for watching. Take care. I need to go take a shower and clean my soul after these pieces of shit was in my peripheral. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.